Hi guys, Dr. Cliff Olson here again with Hearing Tracker, and right now I'm live at AAA 2018, and I'm with Tish Ramirez, who is the Director of Clinical Audiology at Signia. So I'm going to take some time here to have them kind of talk you through about their new technology that they have. So Tish, thank you for joining me today here on Hearing Tracker. So the newest thing that you guys just announced here at AAA was what?
We are introducing our new Silk NX. So it is very discreet. It's an instant fit, in the ear, invisible instrument. In addition to that, we have a cross option for Silk. So you can do, invisible to invisible for cross by cross. The Cross Silk is also compatible with our new NCO and IIC and CIC on the NX platform.
Terrific. And so for individuals who might not know what IIC is, I mean, this is essentially an invisible product once you put it inside of your ear, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
And so this is a new iteration. You guys have had Silk before.
Correct.
So what are the differences with this? I know you mentioned Cross already. Is there anything else that's massively different with this?
It's even smaller.
It's smaller. That's always good. Smaller is always better, right?
20% smaller, or small is really small.
Right.
But yeah, it's all about discretion for these products. So if discretion's really important to you, we have an option for that.
So how does it work for someone who's considering wanting a device that's really small inside of their ear that no one sees, but they don't need a custom impression for it? How do you guys make that work?
We have our click sleeves that they do come in different sizes, but we have a very high fit rate with our Silk with any of those sleeves. The click sleeves are designed to fit more comfortably in the ear, so if you've ever been fit with something that's instant, it's not as comfortable. We spent a lot of time really designing how the click sleeve fits on the Silk product for comfort.
Excellent. And I always get excited when it's a second generation of a product, because sometimes there's little kinks that we need to work out in first generation technology, but nonetheless, I think that it'll probably be just as, if not more popular than the first line of Silk that you released. So other than that, I mean, really fairly recently, you guys released the new Charge and Go. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so our Pure Charge and Go is a lithium-ion rechargeable instrument. You recharge everything today. There's nothing that you change batteries in unless you have a child at home. You have to change out batteries and toys. But everything that you own that's electronic, you want to plug it in or you can plug it in. So we want to just make it a seamless, for your life. So we have a rechargeable product. With our Pure Charge and Go, we have a new processing that we call own voice processing.
That's the big term now. I mean, it's going around.
So if you've ever tried instruments in the past, you may have rejected them because you didn't like the sound of your own voice. So what our R&D team has done is they spent a lot of time researching how we can attack and have a solution for that. So with our own voice processing, you do a training of the instruments, so the hearing aids will recognize your voice over any other voice. So it processes the sound all around you differently than it processes your own voice, and we do that by doing an acoustic scan around your head, so now your hearing aids recognize that you're the one wearing them.
Right, so I'm starting to get nervous that hearing aids are getting smarter than us, right?
That's true.
And as far as I know, you guys are the only one doing the own voice processing.
That's correct.
And you are right, there is a lot of individuals out there who do not like the sound of their own voice, particularly first-time wearers of hearing devices who aren't used to that kind of acoustical stimulation of their own voice going back into their own ears. So OVP really allows us to kind of eliminate their own voice from the equation without affecting, like, if I want to hear somebody else.
That's exactly right, because that was one of the compromises that if you've seen a hearing care professional before, if you had complained about your own voice, they had a compromise by lowering the gain of the instrument, so then it impacted everything else that you were listening to, and the whole point of you getting a hearing aid is so you can hear everything around you.
Right. Yeah, I often say, and it goes for a lot of other things that, you have to do with hearing aids. Sometimes there's a trade-off that has to be made in order to make something tolerable for a patient, but you know that you're going to be sacrificing something else. This is a way, in terms of your own voice sound quality. You can make that elimination of something you don't perceive or like, and not lose what you want to get. So that's a really, really cool technology, and I really look forward to seeing how that one progresses as we move along. So I want to talk about the rechargeability aspect again. I know you mentioned it's lithium, so there's a lot of, and I've done these videos with other companies too. Everyone has their own way of going about what's the best rechargeable. So you guys elected to go with lithium. Correct. Why is that?
So it is inductive charging. So one of the benefits of that is that we can keep the hearing aids completely encased. So there's no additional openings that allow for moisture or anything else for the instrument. And with the lithium ion, when you drop it in the charger, you drop it and you walk away. You don't have to worry about the contacts of the hearing aid catching onto the charger. So very easy to use.
Right. Yeah, that's perfect. I like now that my cell phone uses inductive charging. I just drop it on a pad and it charges. Exactly. Same concept, right?
That's
with
exactly
the technology.
The same concept.
So let's talk about being able to use Bluetooth with it. So that's another exciting thing, of course. And we're starting to see, we're packaging every single possible feature into one device possible, and it seems like that's what you're doing with the Charge and Go.
That's exactly, and I'm glad you brought up Bluetooth because that was going to be my next point. So with the pure Charge and Go, in addition to own voice processing, in addition to all of the other features, direct streaming. So you put the hearing aids in your ear, you can pair the hearing aids directly to any Apple device. So, most of us like to talk on the phone or listen to our music. We do everything on our smartphones now, and anything that's audio will get streamed directly to the instruments.
You see, that's wonderful. And so you guys have elected to made it specifically for iPhone, and it's kind of funny. I use Android, but I tell all of my patients, if you really want to hear on the phone, you want to stream that phone call into both ears if at all possible, because we hear better when both ears can participate in the task, right? Yes. So it's funny seeing someone who carries around a Samsung phone telling everyone to get iPhones, but I truly believe that if you want to get that phone benefit, that iPhone is going to give that to you, because as of right now, that's the only way we can really stream, without using an intermediary device, right, directly into the hearing aids, which definitely gives additional benefit to a user.
That's correct. But if you are an Android, owner, we do have an option for that. And you're right, Clifford. So we do have our Streamline mic that's compatible with Android that will allow the same Bluetooth streaming to the pure Charge and Go instrument.
Right. And so now let's say that you have an iPhone. There are some states out there that if you touch your phone when you're in your car, that is illegal. Correct. Right? And so if you have this clip that you wear on your blouse or somewhere in your shirt pocket, that lets you be completely hands-free, even if you have an iPhone, correct?
That's correct. Absolutely. So you're right. If you're streaming direct to Apple, any Apple device, you are still using the microphone of the smartphone. So yes, in some cases, then that would not qualify as hands-free.
Right.
You can buy a stand in your car and whatnot. But yes, the Streamline mic is compatible with both the Apple and Android products.
Very cool, very cool. So now, this is something that I'm super excited about, because I personally get phone calls from people all over the country, really the world, asking me about certain recommendations for devices, and it's something that we're starting to emerge into, this topic of teleaudiology, right? Where you can get audiologic services from long distance, and perhaps maybe you have mobility issues where you can't get in to see your provider. Maybe you just need a small adjustment on your device and it doesn't warrant you going in and spending a couple hours out of your day going in to see your provider. So how is Signia tackling that problem?
So we have what we call Signia Telecare. So there are two components to that. As the patient or the wearer of the instrument, you would download an app called the MyHearing app, and that allows you to stay connected to your hearing care professional. One of the benefits of that is, like you said, Clifford, you can the hearing care professional can make adjustments to the instruments remotely. We all live busy lives, right? So you're right. I don't want to take 45 minutes to drive to the clinic, 45 minutes to drive from the clinic. You can connect to your provider remotely. They can make any changes that they can make in their office from where you are at home, where you are at work. If you're having difficulty in a particular situation, you can set up a remote appointment.
Right.
And make adjustments in that particular situation. So there's a lot of benefits to Signia Telecare.
Right, so that's wonderful. One of the things that I value more than anything is time. And so if there's a way that you can eliminate this, barrier of you spending all of your time going as whenever that provider can find a little bit of time in their schedule to give you an adjustment, and you don't have to waste your time coming into the clinic, that's a huge benefit.
Absolutely.
So basically, you guys' new products are amazing, right? And so I'm looking forward to doing a review on the products. And are we done?
We lost. It says connection available.
That's live video for you.
There we go.
Are we back on?
We're back on.
Sorry, technical difficulties, something with the Wi-Fi. Nonetheless, we're wrapping up here. Tish, thank you so much for taking the time with us today. Once again, we're here live from AAA 2018 on behalf of Hearing Tracker. I'm Dr. Cliff, AUD. Check out my YouTube channel if you want to see more information about hearing loss and your hearing treatment options. And I'll be doing a review of the Signia line of products here really soon, so stay tuned.